So, Artie, do we want to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes. So are we broadcasting? Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. So good evening. It's the zoning board meeting of August 18th. Sarah Garner, who is the chair, is not available tonight, so she's asked me to step in as the acting chair for this evening's meeting. For the first order of business, we'd like to, I know the minutes from last month's meetings were prepared, I think by Ken. You did the minutes last month, and they've been circulated. Does anybody have any questions or comments? And if not, I'll move to accept the meeting minutes from last month. So I have a second on that motion.
I second that.
Okay. Everybody say yay or nay. I vote yay.
I vote yay.
Yay. Yay.
Okay. So the minutes of last month's meeting are accepted. There were four matters originally scheduled. We understand that the matter for 3 Clifton and 7-9 South Continent have been adjourned at the request of the applicants, and those will be heard next month. The two that we do have are 18 Meadowbrook and 29 North Ecker Street. And I guess we'll turn to 18 Meadowbrook first, if that's okay.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Oh, I need video too, don't I? All right. Can you hear and see me now?
We can, Doug. How are you?
Yes.
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I don't know if you heard the announcements, but Sarah's not available this evening. I'll be the acting chair. There are only 4 members today, Doug, and under the rules, we need 3 out of 4 to approve.
Okay.
And what we've always done traditionally, if for some reason you'd rather wait till there's more members of the board available, we can adjourn it at your request till next month, or we'll go forward, whatever works best for you.
Can we go forward and see how people are reacting and then call for a redo?
We can have you make your presentation, and if you want to adjourn it, we'll let you do that since we know you for so long.
Okay, thank you.
The cards, I believe, were part of your submission, right? The green cards, you had submitted those as certified
Yes.
mail? Okay.
Yes.
So those as part of the
They're not actually. I did not the certified, the green card, the proof of mailing or whatever, certificate of mailing, which
Okay.
is what we can do now. But
Okay.
I submitted those with the application.
Okay.
So should I call the drawings up?
Well, let me just make sure I understand. So this was originally approved in a somewhat modified version back on January 29th of 2019.
Correct. Yes, by a different architect. The client, they got the permit, but they weren't quite happy with some parts of the design. So they asked me to come in and take over. One of the things I suggested, which is the reason we're in front of you now, the original design had taken off the current existing covered entry landing and expanded it a bit, another foot into the front yard, and a little bit wider to the left. And you guys had approved that. But it was sort of a strange flat roofed entry portico. Didn't really fit with the building. And what wasn't shown on the survey at the time was that to the left of that existing porch, there's actually a brick pathway that's about 3 feet that goes from the entry porch to the existing driveway. They like to sit out in front and watch their kid likes to play in the front yard. So I suggested slightly reducing the depth of the covered entry porch, but extending it along the whole front of the house to sort of keep it more in style with the house itself. So what we're asking is that we would like to reduce the projection from 5 feet off the front of the house back to the original 4 feet, but extend the length of the porch across the front of the structure.
And the 4
this-
feet, and if I just may interrupt you, the 4 feet, Doug, was what was there as existing prior to the last variance application.
That is correct.
So you're going back to the future, basically.
We're going back to the future, but we're instead of going out, we're stretching it along.
Right. So that doesn't really, that would be really a continuation of the prior nonconformity as far as the
Correct.
setback, but now you're increasing your coverage a little bit because you're a little bit wider than you were.
Exactly. So they had you had previously granted 228 square feet of coverage. The allowable, oh dear, I had this right in front of me.
It's actually 2,228.
Oh, did I say 228? Sorry, 2,000.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
2228. 2,228. The
Allowable was 19.
allowable is 1971, and we're asking to go up from the 2,228 to 2,262, which is an increase from your previous approval of 0.4%.
So it's 18.4% if we were here last year.
Correct.
Okay. When I pass by, I look at the house from the car with the windows up and my mask on, and they were working there feverishly. So,
Yeah, and the reason I'd like to hopefully get approval tonight is they can't finish the siding on the front until we get this this resolved, if we have to go back to the old one or do the new design.
okay. Does anyone have any questions as members of the board to what Doug has presented?
I do not.
Not really.
Doug, I guess this is the point where you have to either jump off or keep going.
No, I'll take the risk. I'll roll the dice.
Hey, you're a tough guy. So I've viewed the property. I've reviewed the earlier application from last year. I've looked at the present application. As you can tell, I put some calculations. And I actually see no problem with this, quite frankly. So I would make a motion to accept and approve this variance. Going from Judd, I guess. Judd?
I'm familiar with the
I guess
process.
we need, I'm sorry, formalities. We need a second of the motion first. So I make the motion to accept. Would anybody make a second on that?
I second the motion to accept, Artie.
Okay. So voting first for me, I'm sorry. I say yes, Judd,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Douglas, you're done.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great evening.
Okay. Thank you. The next and final application is North Ecker, I guess. You'll be joining them in for us, Sarah?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Charles, I was told you're taking the minutes. Is that accurate? I hope it is.
It is accurate. Got my engineering pad here, writing everything down,
Thank you, sir.
right? Turn it into something that resembles the English language later.
Thank you, sir. Man, you got to undo your, you're muted on your voice, Matt. There you go.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
That's okay. Yes. So
Um,
Matt, just before we start, I'm Artie Semetis, and I'm the chair for this evening. We only have 4 members, and I understand that Ken has to recuse himself because I guess he's a neighbor within the 200 or for some reason, which means there will only be 3 of us voting. And if 3 of us are voting, you need a unanimous vote. So what we do, we give you the opportunity to either take your chances on the unanimous vote or without prejudice, adjourn it to the next session where I suspect we'll have at least 5 or 6 members in September. So you'll have a better chance and a better airing of your client's application,
So
which might not be a bad idea.
I'd like to roll the dice like Doug did and see how it goes. And if I need to adjourn then, and I'd be happy to do it then.
Okay. So have you made the mailings or the certification of mailings or whatever you're supposed to be doing?
I have, yes.
Could you somehow get those to the village at some point?
Certainly, there's about 40 something of them. You know, these small lots within the village they're a bit of a challenge, but I have them and I will get them over to the.
I put them in a box, leave them on the front step and call Sarah, she'll come out with and get them or something like that.
Great, no problem. I'll do that.
Okay, and if you would, please make your presentation.
Certainly. Do you, should I share my screen? Do you guys have visibility to the drawings?
I don't have them presently, but I think people have done it in the past and it's worked out pretty well. If you want to do that.
Sure. Let me bring up one of the drawings then. See if you let me know when if and when you can see that. Okay.
I can see it.
Great. So this application is to build a deck off the rear of the existing residence. I understand that the coverage calculations seem a little bit alarming, but bear in mind that the existing coverage is already double what the requirement is, and we are increasing slightly. In the scheme of things, additionally, I can share this other drawing. Hopefully this will work. In terms of, can you see that one now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so in terms of context, this is the site elevation looking north, which if you see this photograph in the middle, this is the property that's directly due north. So they do have an option that extends further than the deck, which is indicated here. The
What do
deck
they
is
have
also,
there? Is that a structure you said? I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry, Matt. Is that a
Matt.
structure you said?
it is, it's a one-story addition. I think it's a garage.
Okay.
And you can see the deck outlined here. It does not extend further than that garage. It is also not higher than the roof of that garage. It is also the structure, the deck that is mostly transparent. It's mostly railing. It is open underneath. And it is, again, it is not intrusive on that neighbor's property.
But it is true, if I may, Matt, that the homes here go back to probably pre-1900, many of the homes, correct?
Yeah, but the additions don't, Artie.
So what do you know about this one? Is this addition that you're pointing to in comparison, has that been approved? Was that permitted? Is that lawful? Was there a variance granted by the board on that one? Or is that some illegal or, prior non-conforming?
Possibly.
You don't know, I guess is the best answer to that.
I do not know. This is a picture of the structure. It doesn't look like it's an old structure. This is fairly new siding, and it was an after add.
Well, the siding may have been, but I'm not so certain about that structure not being pre-existing, but keep going.
Okay. Looking to the south, similarly, there's a one-story addition. You can see that in this photo on the left-hand side here. This is a one-story addition I'm referencing. Again, this proposed deck does not extend out further. It is also lower than that structure. And again, it is mostly transparent in the sense that it is open underneath. It does not have a roof. It is mostly railings. What's not shown here is the property that is 2 doors down. So if you can see my cursor, it's this property right here, which has a fairly good sized deck. It's not shown in this drawing. You could see it on a Google map, which I could share if you have the time.
Well, do you have the street addresses for those that you're pointing to?
I do. This is, so this is 29, this would be 27. And then this is 25. I also, again, I could pull up a Google map if you want to.
I'm more interested in the legality of those additions, quite frankly, and whether or not they are prior non-conforming. Because I can't imagine that they came before this board and the board approved those extensions, quite frankly.
No, the chances are they're not, but I would say the deck that I'm referencing at 25 is fairly new. It's a pretty new deck.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, that it just proves that there's precedent for some of these lots. These are, they're small lots that are within the village. The neighbor to the immediate left, and which is south, it basically takes up the entire lot, side to side.
I'm just concerned as to whether or not that precedent is authorized, is my point. But anyway, keep going.
Okay, so again, my thought here is we are still, I need to blow this up, but let me see if I can do that. Over 75 feet from the nearest property to the rear. This is a 6-foot setback to the neighbor's property line, plus a 4-foot buffer from the neighbor to the north. The neighbor to the south, they share a party wall. And again, this piece here is that 1-story structure that I was referencing earlier. This is not again, it's not something that hasn't been done. I understand your point, Arthur, about the precedent, but the fact that the Seawarts are trying to do this properly shouldn't be a deterrent for them to do it the right way, whether people haven't done it that way or not. I think again, the coverage, the existing coverage is 46% in a 24% zone. And this is an incremental add to something that, again, is mostly transparent and does not impede on any of the neighbors' properties in any way.
But I did some calculations, and unfortunately, I don't have the hard copy documents in front of me, but I think I came up with about a 20% increase in coverage. Is that correct? 19.87%?
Again, I don't know if it's, the math can get a little crazy. We are, the allowable coverage is 486.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Actually, I use the numbers, and I think it's 20% over existing, and existing, of course, is non-conforming.
Oh, over the existing, yes. It's 10% over, no, it's only a 10% increase over the existing. The existing coverage is 936. And we are adding, the total would be 1122, so.
Yeah, so you're increasing it by 186, right?
Right.
And
So it's a 20% increase over what's there, right? You're going from 46 to
Right.
56, right? It's 10 over 46 is more than 20%.
correct.
It's 185 square foot add, correct.
Yeah, but I think, as Charles said, I agree with him that it's a 20% increase over existing. And, in the old days, under Mr. Lustenberger, there was this 10% rule, I think it was. I mean, you're far beyond that. And I guess one of the things that really sticking with me is that I really would be concerned about approving something based on its comparison to the neighboring lots. And if the neighboring lots are not lawful, that would trouble me. If they're existing non-conforming, I'd be less troubled. But I think that I'd like to do this have a little bit more information on the adjoining properties. I mean, that's just my vote. And of course, since you need a unanimous vote, I guess it counts. I'm not suggesting we vote today, but I'm kind of suggesting we adjourn this for a month, Matt, so I can make some inquiry and report back to the board.
Sure, and I could.
Or you can do that for us, or, I mean,
Sure.
I plan on calling Ed Marin tomorrow, quite frankly, and asking him about that. And I think for me, I'm less troubled if they are existing non-conforming or pre-existing non-conforming, as opposed to using those as a benchmark when they may have been done improperly.
Yeah, and I don't look at it as a benchmark, Arthur. I look at it more as context. Again, these owners are not looking to do anything that nobody has done in the past, and they are looking to do it properly. And
we respect that. We appreciate that, actually. They're not going to be punished for that. But I think that, whenever we do anything in the historic district, the old district, the downtown district, it's going to come back as a precedent being cited by others. And the 20% number is a big number. And if we can distinguish it by saying that it's immediately adjacent to two properties that are identical to it, there's no negative impact, they're pre-existing, blah, 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 I think it's a better decision for us to make. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if anybody else has any opinion on the board. That would be, of course, Judd or Charles.
Artie, I generally agree with you. I'm not comfortable just saying, well, it fits in with what's already there. If it's already there, it's really not, properly authenticated with the COO or a building permit. So, if it's existing non-conforming, fine, we can address that, but we don't know that at this time. So I'm with you. We need more information before we can make a decision.
So Matt, it's not like we're going to vote negative on this or vote no on this motion. I think we want to adjourn it if it's okay with you. so that we can get the information at next month's meeting, if that it's okay with you and your client.
Sorry.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, Judd?
Yeah, it would be more helpful to know about those other properties.
Correct.
Yeah, underneath the deck, just curious, is it just going to be open grass?
It's open and grass, correct. It will be seated and open.
And just for my notes for next time, the deck itself, is it going to be, is it wooden deck? Is it this new plastic Trex material?
Nope, I can show you the details. So this is the rear elevation. I don't know, hopefully that popped up.
Yep.
Yep, it is a wood deck, wood railings and wood stairs, and a concrete landing at the bottom of the stairs.
And the concrete landing is, and all that other, the landing and the steps are included in your calculations, correct?
Yes, they are.
So, do you want to make an application to adjourn this till next month, Matt?
Yes, please.
Okay, we grant that request, and we'll see you next month.
Okay, and I will get you that. I'll get you these.
Okay, will you find out for us about these two existing properties that you cited?
Yeah, I absolutely will. I'll get all the information on those existing properties.
Terrific. We just want to make a complete decision. That's all we want to do.
Understood.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I think that concludes our meeting for this evening. Is that correct?
Yep.
I think it does. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, everyone. We'll see you next month.
We don't have to make a motion to adjourn or anything
Oh,
like
yes, I'm sorry. You're right, Charles. I'm sorry. Charles made a motion to adjourn. We're going to adjourn. Is that okay? I'll second that motion. All vote to adjourn? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good.
All right, then. Have a great month.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.